Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here with my cat. We're here to talk about nail polish. I'm excited to share with you the Essie Resort collection for 2017. It took me a minute to track this down at Target. I originally picked up a completely wrong color because the way they have it set up at Target is kind of confusing. They have a few others next to it. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a nude. And so I originally picked that one up and it wasn't the right one. I was missing the corally one. So anyway, I finally have them all tracked down and I was able to sit down and do this review for you guys. So let's talk about them. I'm also going to talk about the comparisons on this video as well. I'm going to see if that takes a little bit less time to do. I still want to do that for you guys, but wow, those posts take a really long time to do. But I love doing them though because I feel like they really are informative. So I'm going to try it this way and see if it works, and let me know how you like it this way in the comments down below. Okay, let's talk about the polishes. I'm going to start with this first one, and I might mess up the names, but this is Resort Romanzo. I might use an Italian accent. That's terrible when I do this. I don't know, I can't help it. Anyway, this is a gorgeous corally polish. Essie has quite a few coral polishes and they're all beautiful. They're all slightly different from one another though. I haven't really found one that's exactly the same. It's got a really great formula. It's opaque in 2 coats, and let's go ahead and get into the swatch for it. Here's one coat of Resort Romanzo, and it really does have an awesome formula. Basically, if you do it quite generous, you're going to get it opaque in 1 coat. And I really love this pink toned coral, and that's 1 coat. And now let's go ahead and get into the comparisons. Now here are the pink corals I have in my collection that are close to it. Now keep in mind when I say they're slightly different, they really are just slightly different. The regular person might not see any differences in these, but the nail polish crazy person like me sees that there really are differences in these. So keep that in mind when you look at these comparisons. But here it is compared to Brides No Grooms, Buried Treasures, and then here is Resort Romanzo, and then Peach Daiquiri next to that as well. And then here are the comparisons on the nails. This is Peach Daiquiri on the top, and it has a more sheer formula, and it definitely has a little more red in it, whereas Resort Romanzo has a little more pink toned. And Buried Treasured, while it's still pink, it leans a little bit more red. And Brides No Grooms is the pinkest out of all of them. So definitely no dupes. I don't have all the coral polishes that Essie has, and they have quite a few, but these are the ones that I have, so I'm happy that it's slightly different than all of these. But if you're just a regular person who just buys nail polish once in a while, you might not need this one. I have to say, while all the formulas on these polishes are great, I like the formula of Resort Romanzo the best. The next one is Sorrento Yourself, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous rosy brown that's really muted. It's the most original, I feel like, in this collection. At least there's not anything super close to it. I love it. It's beautiful. It's a nude color, and the formula is amazing. This is the best formula. Now, I have noticed this one didn't run down the stem, but I had a few where the polish runs down the stem. And sometimes I'm like, oh, it's flooding, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I need a little more. Hey, thanks for adding a little bit more polish on my brush. But most of the time I'm like, quit running down that stem. But you just need to remember to clean it off before you use it, and then that just avoids it completely. So I'm trying to remember that that's what I need to do. I didn't have problems with this one, but with that last one, I had issues with that. But this one, the formula is fantastic. And let's go ahead and get into the swatch for it. And here we have the first coat of Sorrento Yourself. The formula on this is really, really great and smooth and creamy, and it levels out well, and that's opaque in 1 coat. And it's a gorgeous mauve polish, and that's 1 coat. And let's talk about the comparisons. I have to admit I don't have a lot of mauve polishes in my collection, but here are the ones that I have that are closest to it. Here I have OPI Ink My Doodle, and then I also have OPI Gouda Gouda Two Shoes. And then here is Sorrento Yourself, and then Eternal Optimist. I do not have Essie Ladylike, and I feel that one might be a little close too, although I looked at it online and it seems to be a little bit more purple. So clearly Eternal Optimist is closest to Sorrento Yourself, but it's definitely more of a rose tone, whereas Resort Romanzo is more of a brown tone. And here they are together on the nail, and as you can see, they are all quite different, not just slightly different, but quite a bit different. So I'll let you guys decide how different you think they are. This next one is Chau Effect, and this is a gorgeous, gorgeous purple. I love these muted purples like this. I don't have any that are similar to this in Essie's collection. The formula was great. It's opaque in a couple coats, and it's unique, and I love it. And let's get into the swatch for it. And here's the first coat of Chau Effect. And it does have a nice formula. I did have some running down the stem of the brush, as you can see there, and it's not completely opaque in one coat, although it almost is. And so I'm going to go ahead and do 2 coats, and that's 2 coats of Chau Effect. And let's get into the comparisons. And here are the dusty purples that I have for comparisons that are in my collection. They're not all exactly the same, they're all quite a bit different. Well, in my opinion. We have Warm and Toasty Turtleneck, and then this is Chau Effect, the new one from the collection. And then we have Groom Service, and then Dress Call, which is one of their gel couture polishes. And as you can see, they're quite different. They're not exactly the same. You can see those differences as we show them here on the nail. On the top we have Groom Service, which is definitely more cool toned and a little bit more purple. Chau Effect is a little more of a dusty tone, and Warm and Toasty Turtleneck is warmer and a little bit of a richer color, and Dress Call has a little more pink in it while still being a purple. So it's definitely unique. I didn't have any OPIs that were like this one as well, and so I'm glad that I added it to my collection. And then we have Strike a Positano. I think I'm saying that right. But this is a gorgeous muted blue. I thought it would be the same as Mint Candy Apple or Blossom Dandy, but it's a little bit more muted than that. It has a little more gray in it. And then I thought it would be really close to Udon Nomi, but that one's actually more rich and more fall appropriate in my opinion. And so they are quite different, and I'll show you the comparisons later. I really like this one. It's a beautiful blue and it's perfect for springtime. And let's get into the swatch for it. And here's the first coat of Strike a Positano. It has a good formula. It's a little bit of a crelly formula. And as you can see here, I had a little issue with the polish running down the stem. Just remember to clean that off. But I'm going to go ahead and do a second coat. And I think that's enough to make it opaque. Really good formula. Slightly thin, so you just need to be a little bit careful. But that's 2 coats of Strike a Positano. And let's talk about the comparisons. And here are the blues that I have that are similar. Essie has quite a few blues like this, but they're all just very slightly different. So I don't know if you think you need this one. But I have Udon Nomi from the fall collection last year, and then I have Strike a Positano, Blossom Dandy, and Mint Candy Apple. And here we have them on the nail. Udon Nomi is definitely more fall grayed out kind of blue. Strike a Positano is a little bit grayed out when compared to Blossom Dandy, which is a little bit brighter and has more of a green tone, and Mint Candy Apple, which is just slightly brighter than Blossom Dandy and a little different color tone as well. Now after I'd done my comparison swatching, I thought there were some OPIs that would be pretty close to this, so I pulled out Gelato on My Mind and compared it next to it, and also Gargantuan Green Grape, the blue version. And both are pretty close. And this actually, Gelato on My Mind, was the closest, so I decided I'd better quickly swatch that and get this in the video. That's on my middle finger, and as you can see next to Strike a Positano, they're very close. Gelato on My Mind is just a little bit more green toned. But they are very, very close. That's the closest match that I found for this. So that's it. That's just a small collection. I think it has a good variety. I like it. I love that all the colors are a little bit muted because sometimes I crave those colors, especially in the springtime. So let me know what you guys think about this and which polishes you might pick up. And let me know how you felt about having the comparisons on this video as opposed to on my blog. And thanks for visiting again. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.